This is very interesting what's happening right now. So apparently BranOnline is making another video about his other video where he discussed why he's not going to be topping up anymore in Genshin Impact. His video is called Acceptance. So we're going to be checking it out and what he needs to accept. Maybe the fact that it's not worth buying the Welkin in the battle pass if you have every character or whatnot, but we're going to be checking it out.
Acceptance is something that I feel like everybody should strive towards, but sometimes there's a lot of steps to take before you can even get there. Today I want to go over quite a few different things that have happened in the last 6 months or so, clear some air and set a solid, stable foundation for the future. Since, to be honest, I've been way too vague about it in recent times. Yesterday's video was meant to be kind of a sit down and a live insight into what I was thinking at the time. I started recording, didn't really have an end goal, so my thoughts were jumbled and it was a mess. But let me start today's video off by just saying, my Genshin account is not a free-to-play account, but from now on, it will be. In my last video, I mentioned not topping up, but still using things like the Welkin and
Thank you.
To me, topping up
Oh my
is
God.
like this, right? The crystal top-up function. I've always seen other stuff, whether it's the gift shop stuff and
No, that's for sure. Like, top up means the crystals, but I don't see a point of you discussing saying like, hey, I have every character, but I'm still gonna get the Welkin and battle pass. It makes no sense when you have every character, and especially when you have 104 days remaining on the Welkin. There's no point of getting more Welkin.
battle passes like something else entirely. And maybe that's on me, maybe that's a mindset thing. I just call the top-up feature topping up. But I can understand the confusion and criticism when it comes to this. After recording that video and seeing a lot of the comments, and let me just preface this, it doesn't matter where those comments came from. People are correct. It was ambiguous, it was vague, it was a mess. But let me clear that up and just let you all know now, I'm just not going to be spending on the game. And that's because after sitting with it for like a whole day, there really is just no point. This isn't a dig to get to Hoyoverse or something like a lot of people seem to think it is. Like I said in the last video, my account just feels complete now. It's in a spot where I can just coast by pretty much all content in the game. And even then, when I can't coast, that's probably a bit more fun than just breezing through everything.
Yeah, for sure.
I really don't need the Welkin or Battle Pass either at this point. Because
especially now, like if you're at the end game of any gacha game, it's very easy to beat the end game because you have to focus more on your characters and whatnot. It doesn't matter like if you get the new characters or not. But like when he was saying about like getting the Welkin or the battle pass, you have to look at the battle pass and see like how much little they give you. Especially they give you a 4-star weapon, which let's be honest, he doesn't really need, and it gives you a free primo gems, you know, like maybe like 300 or 600. So there's no real point, and it saves him $25 a month, you know, like there's no real point in getting those two. But yeah,
to be completely honest, even if I was lucky with the free-to-play pulls and got C1 or 0 of every character, it's easy enough to level up those characters over time without the need of the battle pass and the Welkin. And
yeah,
it's going to encourage me to do things like explore more and do the endless list of world quests, right? A lot of people do seem to think I'm just going to falter on this and top up and C6R5 Skirk, for example. I keep seeing that a lot. But honestly, this is my personal choice. I am going to stand by it. And whether you believe it or not, time will tell, right? Come back to this video in a year's time.
I'm guessing Skirt is the cowgirl, but yeah.
I'm so damn confident that I'm just going to stick to my guns with this. If I do end up faltering, I'll give $1,000 back to the community, to you guys. It's just not going to happen. Also, obviously, I can't help if trolls like top up the account and stuff. It's not something that I want to happen, but I cannot control what other people do. They did it on my other free-to-play account. If they do, I'll...
Like about topping up, right? Like I discussed about last time, I don't care whether someone tops up in a video game or not, like in a gacha game, or even by like, or in other games where they have a shop where you could buy customization for your characters or skins or whatever. I don't care people do it. I just care about the fact that it's like, do you have enough money? Do you have a stable income in order for you to top up? If later down the road he goes ahead and like, you know what, screw it, I'm just gonna C6 this character, it's not him being a hypocrite. It's just maybe because he does like that character or not, you know, like maybe he likes the character, or maybe he likes the design of the character or the combat of the character, you know. I'm not gonna really fault for him for C6R5ing a character because he likes it, you know. That's just like human nature. You like something, you're gonna try your hardest to get what you want, you know. That's just human nature. I don't think he needs to be like apologetic if he C6R5s a character if he likes it, but C6R5ing every single character makes no sense.
Resin refresh or get rid of it somehow. Which brings me on to the next point. For some reason, people think that the existing primos on my account are leftovers from previous summon sessions. Bro, after summoning for Sit Lolly, and I'll move on to that in just a second, trust me, I had nothing on my account at all, and I haven't topped up since. I've had Welkin since some battle passes. Let me just put that out there real quick, just so there's no ambiguity at all. But yeah, it's been like a few months, and I have like 15... Let me just see, actually. Let's see. Yeah, it's been a few months. I have 14,585 primos.
Who's Sit Lolly?
Standard pulls, because they said, screw it, I'm just going to wait until Mizuki's on standard. Banner to pull there as well. Of course, I use the free wishes here.
Is Sit Lolly the ice chick from Malvika banner? I think that's what he means by Sit Lolly.
I get them, because why wouldn't you? Yeah, you can literally go to past live streams or look at the YouTube videos and see there's been no top-ups. It's literally just been building up over time from doing all the events and stuff. I don't know why I'd lie about that. It seems very pointless. Now, before we get into some more important stuff that I know a lot more people are going to care about, people are also confused why I'd move to a country that I can't afford. Let me just make this real clear, because I don't need to justify this, but I'll explain it for the people that for some reason want to dig deeper into something that just doesn't exist. I moved to the Netherlands to live with my girlfriend, and it's also just a much, much nicer place than I was previously. I knew the cost.
Why does that matter to people? That doesn't make any sense.
Afford to live. That is a very terrible financial decision, and I've made enough of those back in the day to know what not to do now. You learn from mistakes, man. It's common sense. I'm a huge advocate for spending within your means. So yeah, that was just a weird one for me. And one more thing about the video yesterday.
I don't know why people care so much about like small details like that. It doesn't make any sense.
People seemed a bit confused about was me saying that a friend topped me up on like day one of playing Genshin. I can kind of see why people would find that weird, but people are trying to spin it into this weird thing of me like coping that I just spent money on day one or something. It's not really the case. I live streamed Genshin on day one, and a friend literally just topped me up on Coda Shop in the middle of like Amber's domain or something, and I was like, I didn't even know what it was. So that's what I meant when I said a friend topped me up. Again, very weird how people are trying to like deep dive on something that just
it doesn't make
to deep dive.
It doesn't really matter.
But let's get into the nitty-gritty details, because hopefully this is the last time I'm going to make a video on this. Last time I'm going to be talking about it all, and hopefully start a brand new slate. I've also accepted something very important. You're never going to make everybody happy, and I've known this for the longest time, but I guess I've only recently accepted it. And to be honest, there's some people that you just wouldn't want to make happy, right? I think the main goal is making yourself happy, and this video is kind of a way of doing that. It's a way to air everything out, put everything out there on the table. Yeah, if there's someone that just vehemently disagrees with everything you stand for, if someone just disagrees with everything you say,
I mean, especially when you're a YouTuber and you have a big channel like Brant, who has like 300,000 subscribers, you're not gonna really make 300,000 people happy about your content. You're gonna have people who hate on you just for no reason, and there might be reasons for why people hate on you. You know, you're just gonna get that when you're doing, you know, social media anyways. You know, pretty generic for every YouTuber out there.
Or everything you do, why would you try to make that person happy? You know, I see that a lot in the comment sections. So yeah, I think focusing on yourself, making yourself happy. Core community of people will end up being people that share similar views as you. That's just always the case. So people who love the story and lore of Genshin are people that naturally gravitate towards me and my channel, which I'm really grateful for. And I love having nuanced discussions with people about like things that we disagree on. I think disagreements are fantastic. I think they're healthy. I encourage it a lot, which brings me on to my next point. Another big point of acceptance for me. Now, I did C6 Malwika. I didn't outright use the wording that the banners were predatory, but I did allude to it by saying, and I quote, "I don't know, man, having the plentiful currency rewards happen second half when the two new 5-star characters are in the first half does seem a little counterintuitive to me." Now, let me be completely and utterly honest with you. I genuinely C6'd Malwika because of a ridiculous bet that I made with a fictional online account called Cheetan. Small bit of backstory before I explain here. I was at TwitchCon EU, drunk in a beer garden outside, and I thought it'd be a funny idea to make the tweet. It picked up a lot of virality, which I half expected and honestly half didn't, which was way more of a curse than a blessing. Was it a smart decision to C6 Malwika after making the tweet that I made?
No.
No. Was it hypocritical? It was. Would I go back in time and change what I did? No, because like I said before, man, I'm a big advocate of not going back to change the past, because whatever you do sculpts you and molds you into the person that you are today. And I think learning from mistakes is a very big thing. But
that's actually a good mindset to have, low-key. Like, that's a really good mindset. Like, sure, you have to learn from the mistakes you did and just be like, okay, next time I'm not going to do that.
Except now that after sitting with it for a while, that yes, it was pretty hypocritical of me to call out the intuitiveness of the Genshin banners and then follow through on that bet. A lot of people seem to think I have this habit of C6 R5ing a lot of characters. I keep seeing in the comments like, oh, he's just going to C6 R5 Skirk next. In reality, I have only ever C6'd 2 limited characters and R5'd 1 weapon in the almost 4 years I've been playing the game. I do think I've been hypocritical, but I think a lot of people are pretty damn hypocritical as well. I've been seeing this trend of people judging hypocrisy when it only fits their own narrative and hold people accountable, which I think is a good thing, by the way. I'm actually very grateful for the people that held me accountable for this. Because if we're being honest here, gacha inherently is predatory, but I do see this as a turning point and a stepping stone. But there's also a lot of other hypocrisy in the Genshin community that goes unnoticed, whether it's willingly or not, and I think that in of itself is becoming quite a big problem. Now, I have accepted Genshin Impact for what it is. It's a beautiful video game with a masterfully crafted story that's not told in the best way. I personally thoroughly enjoyed the Genshin.
Dude, I just don't see the story aspect. Like, there's some good parts about Genshin Impact story. That's true. There is some really good parts about Genshin Impact story. Like Fontaine, I didn't think I would actually sit down and listen through every single word in the Fontaine story, but it's so good. When you looking at it and you're just like, okay, how come they can make a really good story like Fontaine, but make a trash story in Malvika's, Archon quest? It doesn't make any sense, because it's just like you see the good parts in Fontaine, but then you don't transfer that to Malvika. It doesn't make sense. Or maybe like they see good parts in like Inazuma or like Mondstadt or whatever other story quest that people actually really enjoy. They don't follow it up. They go ahead and they make Malvika's area this super war heavy, dark and mysterious aspect to it, and then they make it like a Teletubby thing. It doesn't make any sense. Why would they do that? I just don't see why people enjoy Genshin Impact's story when there is some good parts of it, but there's like, it's like a 40-60 of it is terrible, 40% is actually really good.
Impact story, and I'm not going to be told by anybody that I'm correct for having negative opinions on the game, but like factually incorrect for enjoying something. It just doesn't make sense, and it's also kind of hypocritical in itself, is it not? It also ties back to not making everybody happy and not wanting to make everybody happy. I love the story and the lore for so many different reasons. Doesn't mean it's perfect. There's so many improvements that can be made. It could be told better, the narrative could be better always, but the lore and the story for me are where my true passions have always lied with Genshin. I've never been passionate about pulling C6 characters or anything. I've never made it a staple. It's been a one-off special every now and then. Twice in 4 years. Yes, I hype a lot of shit up in YouTube titles and in videos when I'm hype about it. And yes, I shit on a lot of things when I'm not hype about it. But that's okay. It's honestly very, very normal, because
I think it's normal to hype a video idea, especially like for YouTube. You have to make a clickable title, but not too clickbaity, if that makes any sense. Like, you have to make it like super energetic and super crazy, but nothing like, you can't just title a Genshin Impact video saying like IC6R5 Malvika, and then in the video it's like C2 or whatever, you can't really do that. It makes sense why he has to exaggerate the title of the video just so that people actually click on it. But yeah,
I've accepted the fact that everybody is different and wants different things from the game now. I do think it might have taken me a little bit longer than it should be to kind of sit with this and accept that I was a bit hypocritical, but I also think it's better late than never. But yeah, I love Genshin's story, really dislike the combat direction, and nobody is in their right to make me or you out to be a liar just for simply liking something that they can't fathom. Let's talk about other games real quick, because people seem to think that I only cover Genshin and that there's some deep reason behind this. I do cover other games. I do find it quite funny when I get comments saying things like that, yet those people clearly just don't see the other videos that I post about WooWar and HSR, or the streams on it as well. I play WooWar and HSR for the story too. I don't like the direct.
he probably gets more views in Genshin Impact's like videos than getting WooWa and Castorice videos. That's why people are probably saying that.
Direction of endgame in HSR with the power creep and stuff. And WooWar's honestly probably the best out of the three for endgame, 100%, but it still suffers from the same issues that I have with the endgame in gacha games, which is fighting against a timer. Gacha endgame just is not for me, and I've accepted that. But I will be damned if I'm not eating hella good playing 3 insanely good gacha story games. I don't post non-story related content on WooWar and HSR, mainly just because, again, combat just isn't really for me. And there's other forms of videos that I could post about those games as well, of course. I do post reactions sometimes, but fully covering 3 gacha games is genuinely something I just don't have the privilege of time to be able to do right now. It's an incredibly busy time of life with just moving country and also trying to set up another business and stuff like that, that it would be detrimental to my health if I had to try and focus on 3 gacha games fully. Side note after the fact here, I do genuinely hope that one day I can cover especially WooWar a little bit more than I currently do. I really do have a deep love for the game, and I think the devs are doing absolutely incredible more things with it. I just really can't find the motivation and time to cover all of these different things right now. My main passions have always been allied with Genshin, and that's just how it is. It's what I enjoy. If you hate me for that, I guess that's fine. Now, another important note that I really do think this is incredibly important. This goes out to a lot of people. And I ask this of you, and I really mean this. Please don't stoop so low as to throw absolutely heinous accusations towards other CCs or anyone for that matter that disagree with me, whether it's respectfully or
Oh god, saying that not a good idea. Oh bro, I would always recommend never to say, hey guys, don't send hate to this CC. It's never gonna end well, bro. When you say don't send hate, that refers to people actually sending hate. Like, it doesn't make sense. Why do they do it?
respectfully or however you see it. Bro, I've seen countless comments over the past God knows how many months from Tectone viewers calling me out where some things are entirely justified and some things are definitely not. And let's be honest, that's to be expected. The last thing that I want to see is people throwing these ridiculous accusations out to a guy that simply just doesn't like me without any form of proof, just to try and get a little one-up. It's stooping to lows that you should never want to be stooping to. You can like someone, you can hate someone. This is something else entirely. It's also pretty hypocritical to be doing this kind of thing, being like, oh, this guy's a bad person. Let me throw terrible accusations out about their character without any kind of proof.
Yeah, for sure.
To wrap things up, I'm not a hater of Genshin. I adore the game. I've just accepted it for what it is for me. I've accepted that I don't really need improvements on my own account for the things that I play the game for. Might have taken me a long time to get here, but I got here. I've accepted the fact that I can never make everybody happy. The main thing is me being happy, and people will agree and disagree with almost everything that I have to say, and that is a fantastic thing. I've accepted that, yes, I have been pretty hypocritical in the past, and I really do hope that I can improve myself on that front going forward. I've accepted that I'm not perfect. Nobody is. And I think if we are holding people to certain standards when it comes to hypocrisy, then we should hold everybody to the same level. I don't think that's too much to ask. You'll love whatever you love about the games that you love and hate what you hate. And I'll do the same. None of us are wrong for loving what we love, and none of you are wrong for hating what you hate. Just be you and don't let other people dictate how you can enjoy something.
Damn, this is actually pretty...
Genuinely. Hopefully
this is actually like a really good response. That I think actually really is really good.
It goes insightful into me doing the same. It's a starting point, and you can believe what I say or not, but time will tell. Again, come back to this video in a year. Can't wait for the future story and the lore of the games. Can't wait to delve into Ashikai's insane ramblings of lore and story.
Look, if he actually really enjoys Genshin's story, okay, kudos to him. You know, he enjoys something. You know, it's better than enjoying nothing. But I'm just so curious of what he actually likes about Genshin's story. Like, not just for him to just be like, oh, I like all of it, you know, or I like some parts of it. Just like specifically, like, what's his favorite story quest? What's his favorite this? What's his favorite, like, companion quest? That, like, what part of Genshin's story actually makes him enjoy it? You know, that's what I'm curious about.
The Moon Sisters, Nodcry, Snezhnaya, Kamria, everything coming, I am genuinely really excited about. Sure, we're in the dead patches right now, so the excitement's not going to be at an all-time.
That's every gacha game right now.
Just because I'm not as passionate as I was.
Dude, Wuthering Waves, like, is so terrible at managing their time, because it's like they give you a huge update, and then it's like the first week is super hype and you do the story quest, but then like the rest of it is just so mundane, so boring. Sure, you get events in here and there, whatever, but like still it's so boring to just to log in Wuthering Waves. But the first week is like the best week.
0.0 that I'm not passionate. Let's have a blast with Genshin, have a blast with WoW and HSR, and just enjoy gaming, dude.
Dude, I'm actually glad that he decided not to spend money on the Welkin and the Battle Pass, because it literally makes, like, when he said that in his other video, it literally makes no sense. It literally makes no sense, because he literally just, in his other video where he's saying he's not topping up anymore, literally said, I'm not going to top up, I'm going to buy the Welkin and the Battle Pass, even though he clearly said before that he has every character and his account is complete. So it makes no sense for him to top up. I'm glad he said that. I think the ending was really good and it really makes sense. But yeah, hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure to like, comment, subscribe. If you enjoyed this video, you probably enjoyed this video where I decided to beat the MOC using 0 artifacts. And I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace.